It's not an everyday thing that you just finish reading a research paper for your schoolwork, then the next moment you're in the interview setting and you get to use it. Hi, Cal here, and you may know me as Wei Yi. I will be sharing about my experiences, my introspective journey on performance psychology, especially in the real world, hyper practical settings. I want to first start off by expressing my gratitude for this module because it spoke to me directly. The assignments were so practical and so relevant that it was so timely for me that I had an interview in between my GPA and my ECA. The assignments were very intuitive, and when I reflect back, as I'm reading the papers and preparing for my assignment, in the back of the mind, I just think about how can this help me? How can this help my friends, my girlfriend, my brother? It also kept prompting me to reflect back, to look back on my past interviews, presentations, and moments where I didn't perform well, and examine those through the lens of performance psychology without blaming or judging myself. And then when I look at them through the models like Corderos, which may look very intimidating at first, but when you actually look back and apply it and map it to real experiences, it's actually not very difficult and everything just falls into place and makes sense. Like for example, when I go for an interview one time and I didn't have enough sleep, so I drank a lot of coffee, and coffee make my heart rate go higher, and the higher heart rate makes me think that I'm very nervous and I'm ill prepared, and therefore I did not perform for the interview. I did not get a job. And for this assignment, I thought about what was holding me back. And it surprised me that how simple is it to actually fix it when I view it through the lens of performance psych. First thing I noticed is that when I try to be perfect, I default to worrying about judgment. And these worries on the surface level may seem like they are trying to help me, drive me towards excellence. But in reality, it causes me to choke more and even spike my adrenaline on D-Day itself. I also tend to get too stiff and try to control, like over control every single detail. And when under pressure, I also tend to rush my words or just keep stopping myself and interjecting myself, which causes me to lose a lot of fluency. And we all intuitively know that flow matters in someone's speech because we only get engaged when everything flows well. And during my past presentations and job interviews, this theme kept repeating itself despite spending a lot of time and effort on preparing. And through this mod, I've picked up strategies like diaphragmatic breathing, cognitive reappraisal, and I even started to journal to align myself towards a growth mindset. Basically, these become tools that I own now that I can use to manage my state anxiety and learn from people and experiences that previously I framed as terrifying. For the workshop presentation itself, I managed to use mental rehearsal and the others that I've just mentioned. But one thing we as a team overlooked was that during the day itself, when we are nervous, when we are actually on it, our time management naturally becomes weaker and my team actually overshot, which caused my segment to be shortened. And usually I will panic, but on the day itself, I told myself this: I need to focus on speaking to actual people to help them, to students, to like the past version of myself, that I want to help them to actually ace their interviews, to learn from their interviews. I'm able to adapt, speak from my heart, and on the spot, edit my mental script so that I can pass on the key information that I want to convey to my audience. Most companies, they are not seeking a perfect candidate. They actually want to see the anti-fragility in one's character, the ability to fail, adapt, and bounce back stronger. So the entire module was great and I learned a lot, especially those that I used to kind of know, but now I can actually operationalize them. In the future, I can spend a bit more time and effort rehearsing earlier and more with my team. And as I slowly implement more tools that I didn't mention in my ECA write-up, I can actually show up and value add and perform in my personal life, daily life, my relationships, my career. And that speaks volume for me as a person.